right, hello everyone. Welcome to So What Now, our long distance feature featuring me at the desk, Nate Price at the desk, and over the far side of the studio, Mr. Randy Buehler, fresh from the booth. Hi Randy, it's the big examination once again. Here we go with So What Now. And I was telling the viewers just before we came on air here that you feel this is one of the most important So What Nows in terms of the second pick being really critical for a long time.
Yeah, I do. I honestly think the second pick in this draft format might actually be more important than the first pick. Best thing you can possibly do is read the signals and get into the color that the people on your right are going to pass to you, both for the rest of Dragons and also then in Fate Reforged.
All right, so we want you to take part in this. As we get to the second pack, put in that web address magic.wizards.com/PTDTK what you think the right pick is. You're going to have some options. Nate's going to sort that out for you in just a moment. And we're going to start up there with Ivan Jaya. Ivan Jaya of the United States. Here's his first pack. And I can tell you that he went... did he go with Anticipate? Is there an Anticipate up there? There is. Wow. I'm pretty sure he went with Anticipate. Yeah, so okay. Anticipate was pick 1. So now the question becomes, Randy, here's pick 2, so what now?
All right, I look at this pack. I mean, a Tarkir's Command came through. It is a rare. It's not spectacular. I mean, the pack doesn't have the most high impact cards in the world. A Tarkir Efreet is very good, but I mean, that first pick, Anticipate, I feel like you're making a statement there, passing the exploit creature down the line that this is a guy who really likes blue. Jeez, I think a Tarkir Efreet is the best creature in here, and red is good. I don't know that a Tarkir's Command is good enough to second pick. I would take the Tarkir's Efreet. I don't know that that's what Ivan Jaya has got in mind here, but I think I would take a Tarkir Efreet. Okay, a Tarkir Efreet for Randy. So Nate, what is the view from around the world?
The view from around the world is a little split. It started out sticking with blue to go with the elusive Spellfist. Might as well stay on color, right? But a Tarkir Efreet kind of made a late push. I think that once everything's all said, they're neck and neck, but elusive Spellfist is probably going to take it down.
Okay, so let's see what Ivan Jaya actually did. Wow. He went with Randy 1 for 1. A Tarkir Efreet was the second pick.
It's just a lot better than the Spellfist.
Really?
Yeah. Okay,
so a Tarkir Efreet. Well done, chat. You are 1 for 1 as well. So we're going to move round the table, and this time we go to Dan Blount of England, who did very well yesterday. Now, you see, this is why we do So What Now, because I'm looking at the pack there, and I'm pretty confident that he's going to have picked a Rashin Sovereign up front. Let's see whether he did. Yes, of course he did, because he's got eyes and he can read. So he takes a Rashin Sovereign. We have a gold card to kick us off. Let's take a look at pick 2. There's the pack. Randy, so what now?
Yeah, I mean, Butcher is good, but it's in the wrong colors. Sandcrafter Mage, solid, but again, it's in the wrong colors. I mean, Dragon's Guard Bear is... You're going to start that guy in your green-white deck. I mean, I think with a first pick rare, I'm not saying ignore that when you make your first pick. I mean, I definitely want to get into the underdrafted colors around me, but if it's close, I'd rather stick to my first pick. I think Dragon's Guard Bear is close enough to the Butcher in power level, or to the, it's certainly close enough to the Mage. Oh, actually, I mean, it's a green-white dragon, so it's Bear versus Sandcrafter Mage. I like the Sandcrafter Mage, especially green-white wants to be +1/+1 counters deck. So the ability to come down and bolster, you know, you could combo with things with this Lightwalker, which might come back out of this pack. It's not a high priority pick for anybody other than the green-white player. So I'm gonna kind of grimace and pass this Butcher, but I want to play my dragon, so at the end of the day, I'm taking Sandcrafter Mage.
All right, Nate, tell us about what everyone around the world is thinking of this pack.
It's actually a lot of fun watching the numbers change as you're discussing the different picks, because yeah, ultimately Sandcrafter Mage is going to get the nod from the people at home. But as you started talking about Dragon's Guard Bear, like the numbers started ticking up higher on the green creature. But yeah, Sandcrafter Mage is going to take it with over 50% of the votes.
So does Dan Blount agree with global opinion? Sandcrafter Mage it is for pick number 2. Good stuff. All right, 2 down, 6 to go. We head round the table again, and this time we're with Andrew Calderon of the United States. Now, we've got an interesting little pack there. There's a Dragon Fodder, but he's not going to take that. He's going to take the green card next door, Salt Road Quartermaster.
Over the Death Fang?
Right.
I guess with passing Butcher, maybe you don't want the Death Fang?
So you're kind of surprised by that first pick, Randy?
I just think blue-black is the best color combination.
Okay.
So if I mean, sure, Death Fang is 6 mana, it's kind of expensive, but it's in the best color combination. So I would have taken Death Fang there. I think it's more powerful than Quartermasters anyway.
Okay. On this occasion, though, you don't get to work with that.
All right, I took Quartermasters.
With your Salt Road Quartermasters. Let's take a look at pick 2. Randy, so what now?
As soon as I saw the Epic Confrontation, I can't imagine there's a better card. I'm in green, and the best card in the pack is the Epic Confrontation. I mean, I don't even see what the second, I guess a Tarkir, Freak, Sabretooth, Outrider are the next best cards, but Epic Confrontation, this is one of the best commons in the set anyway. It's exactly what you want when you're in green. You don't have access to a lot of removal, so removal's at a premium when you get the ability to kill your opponent's creature. I think this is a really easy Epic Confrontation.
Listening to players around the room this weekend, it sounds like there is a fair amount of sniffiness about green. Is that something that you found as well?
People want to avoid green. There's definitely a fear that it's pretty bad in Fate Reforged, right? There's just Whisperer of the Wilds, and then I guess Hunt the Weak. There's just, you can get decent green out of dragons, but it drops off so badly in Fate Reforged. And I mean, the green is it's a bunch of good solid cards. Yes, I think green is widely regarded as probably the worst color, but look, we started with a green card, and the best card in this pack is a green card. In fact, if I had taken Ruthless Deathfang first, I think I'd still be taking Epic Confrontation.
All right, so it's a pretty clear cut for Randy. How about everyone at home, Nate?
This is one of the most hilariously one-sided votes that I've seen, like all the times that we've done this. Epic Confrontation by an absolute mile. The only other things that got votes in this were the Guardian Shieldbearer, which is just a worse green card than the Epic Confrontation, and the Dromoka Dunecaster. So, yeah, Epic Confrontation is going to take it down in the end.
So, in fact, it was not an Epic Confrontation. It was barely a confrontation. It was just, I'm the best, end of story. All right, that's 3 down, 5 to go. Let's move round the table, and we move to one of our featured drafters from yesterday, Jacob Wilson. So here was his first pack. Well, once again, it turns out that the rare slot, it wasn't even rare. It was mythic. It was Dragonlord Ojutai, and I'm pretty sure, yes, there's the check mark. Dragonlord Ojutai starts off Jacob Wilson. So another gold card to start us off. Let's see what impact that has. As we say, Randy, once again, so what now?
All right, I'm a Dragonlord Ojutai. I want to be blue-white if I can get there. I see Sandcrafter Mage, I see Aven Tactician. I mean, I see this Death Fang, and I know blue-black is great, but I'm blue-white, so wow, I'm being passed Death Fang and Butcher, which kind of tells me blue-black is available. Like, the guy feeding me did not take an exploit card out of this pack. I can't imagine. I mean, was there a third one, and it was better than the Death Fang or the Butcher? Wow, this one's tough, and because it really is, do you want to stick to your colors? Do you want to take Tactician or Sandcrafter Mage, or do you want to kind of listen? Honestly, I mean, I would have first picked this Death Fang, so if it was me drafting, I would speculate on the Death Fang here and see maybe I'm going to be blue-black exploit touching white for Dragonlord Ojutai. I would take the Death Fang here. I don't think that's what Jacob did. I'm trying to go by what I would do out of this pack, and I would take the Dragon.
Okay, just out of interest, to what extent, if you are looking at being some version of 3-color, to what extent do you expect to get some kind of fixing down the back end of the draft?
You can't expect it, and that's why you really want to be 2-color in this format. I mean, I might wind up abandoning one of these 2 dragons, but there's a chance that I'll pick either blue-white or blue-black, and if I can get an Evolving Wilds, maybe I get an on-color dual land out of Fate Reforged. You can't expect to get fixing, but if you make it a priority, you can usually come up with like maybe a Monument and Evolving Wilds. So it is possible to splash. You only want to splash for something extremely high impact, like a Mythic Rare Dragonlord, for example.
All right, so Nate, what does everyone at home think?
It was relatively close between the Ruthless Death Fang, speculation to that black, or sticking with the 2-color plan and going with the Sandcrafter Mage. But I think after all is said and done, it looks like over 50% of the voters ended up going with the Sandcrafter Mage. So they want to keep their options, you know, far more siloed, not really branching
or they were watching yesterday and wanted to be right.
That's entirely possible.
Go on then, let's see what Jacob Wilson did. Yeah. It was the Sandcrafter Mage, fair enough. All right, now, again, if you were there yesterday, you might have twigged that, but we'll see. As we head on round the table, we go to another famous name. It's Nakamura, but this is Atsushi Nakamura. His first pick, let's take a look at what he went with. It was secure the wastes. So that's what opens up for the Japanese player. Let's see, with that pick already in the pile, Randy, so what now?
Right. I am white. There's nothing ridiculous in this pack, right? I mean, Artful Maneuver's playable. Dromoka Warrior is a 2-drop, which can be important. This pack is kind of depressing, honestly. Anticipate's okay if I wind up blue-white. Saber-Tooth Outrider, Reckless Imp. A lot of this is kind of a color preference pick. I feel like I'm really tempted by Dromoka Warrior, because I like 2-drops. I want to get a good curve, especially from an aggressive deck that can finish off with Secure the Waste. The 1 toughness is the problem. 1 toughness really gets punished in this format. There's so many Palace Familiars floating around. There's just so many ways that punish you for playing a 1 toughness creature. I think, though, that there's nothing that's going to tempt me out of white out of this pack, and I think the Warrior's more important in my deck than the Artful Maneuver. Like, I'm going to need more creatures than I'm going to need tricks, so I think I go Dromoka Warrior, but I'm not happy about it.
The thing is, you don't need to worry, because you're going to get past so many Sandcrafter mages from your left.
Sure.
Oh, wait. All right, so a reluctant Dromoka Warrior from Randy. Nate, are people reluctant in the chat?
This is actually one that apparently quite a few people were having a little difficulty with. Like you said, this pack is a little depressing to look at.
Right.
The 2 biggest vote getters were the Dromoka Warrior that keeps you in white and Anticipate.
Sure.
And in the end, it looks like Anticipate's going to nearly edge out the Warrior.
Interesting.
No love for the maneuver? To stay in white and you just go +2/+2 and then...
I think the Warrior's just more important. Okay. Anticipate probably is the best color if you were going to branch out, best card to branch out with.
All right, so that was Atsushi Nakamura. We have 3 to go, and next up we have William Jensen from the Hall of Fame.
So taking the Warrior there, I've now closed the gap, right? I threw away the Jacob Wilson pick, but I'm right on that one.
Right, sure. Okay, so William Jensen's pack 1, pick 1 was this.
Yeah,
Anafenza,
easy.
Tin Tree Spirit. Easy despite the double white?
Well, it's so good. If you can be a heavy white deck, the card's insane. It's a 2-drop. I just took a 3/1 vanilla because I wanted a 2-drop. This one is 2/2 with crazy good ability. I mean, every time a creature comes into play bolster, Anafenza is extremely powerful. The WW is the problem. Like, you don't want to be forcing white. You want to be drafting white because it's open on your right and it's going to get past you in Fate Reforged. So starting with a white card, you're kind of crossing your fingers and hoping it works out.
So that was his pack 1. Here is his pack 2. Randy, so what now?
Where's the white card? Territorial Rock?
Boo.
Not taking second pick Territorial Rock. So you're like, all right, great. I'm going to have to move out into something. And I mean, I think the cards you can move out into, Twin Bolt is a premium removal spell. It's cheap. It's an instant. It kills a lot of things. Silumgar Butcher is nice in the exploit deck. But I have this Anafenza. I don't really want to be the exploit deck from here. The white-red aggro deck can be great, though. Pick up the War Flares later on.
Yeah.
I think Twin Bolt is the pick for sure. Yeah, I think Twin Bolt is obviously the pick. It's a color that you can branch out into. If I get to hold on to this Anafenza, then I can build a really good white-red aggro deck. And if I don't get to hold on to the Anafenza, well, I just took the best card that the guy on my right passed to me.
Yeah, it's certainly true that if you draft online at the moment, you will see a lot of War Flares going late in Fate Reforged, and that's because officially, red-white is not really a color pair that you're meant to be drafting. It's not one of the 5 paths, so if you are that way, you are going to get those, what are frequently game-ending War Flares. All right, Nate, what do the people at home think?
Oh, I mean, even if they weren't tuning in to actually see what was picked up yesterday, you're right that Twin Bolt is probably the pick, and most of them went ahead and went with that. The one interesting conversation that I've been having actually comes around Evolving Wilds.
Oh, interesting.
Just simply, after that Anafenza's mana cost, which you already pointed out. But again, it's a bit of a stretch to do anything other than take that Twin Bolt, and 78% of the voters actually that was taking the normal card.
And the most important voter.
Let's see whether William Jensen goes with your vote. He does. Twin Bolt is your answer there. So that's William Jensen, which brings us round the table once again, this time to New Zealand and to Matthew Little. So this was his first pack, and shockingly,
another dragon?
Another dragon, another rare. There's Thunderbreak Regent. Thank you so much. If it's good enough for 4 copies in Constructed, you can bet it's probably good enough for 1 copy in Limited to start a draft. So Matthew Little kicks off with that. And the question is, Randy, take 2, so what now?
All right, well, I see Enduring Scale Lord, but it's green-white, and my dragon's red, so probably not. Pacifism's a great card. Kolaghan Forerunners is a good, solid card, better than the Tarkir Efreet. Epic Confrontation is a very, very good spell. I think for me, I don't want the Enduring Scale Lord. It's not so good that I'm going to splash splash 2 colors for it. The best red card is probably the Forerunners. I think red-green is just such a better fit than red-white. Like, you could argue Pacifism is better than Epic Confrontation in a vacuum, but if I have a red deck, I feel like red-green just gives me, there's a path laid out for me to draft the Formidable deck, right. Whereas, starting with a dragon and then adding a Pacifism, I'm not really set up to be the white-red beatdown deck, which I think is kind of how you have to draft red-white. I think I go Epic Confrontation here, although it's possible that I just haven't seen Kolaghan Forerunners in play enough. I mean, it can add up. It's just, yeah, wow, that one's tough. I think I go Epic Confrontation here, just because removal is so important in this format. But I could totally see Kolaghan Forerunners.
Yeah, Forerunners disappoints quite a bit sometimes. I mean, Epic Confrontation, you can generally add up to make it always good, but the Forerunners not always.
Yeah, he really wants to be in the red-black dash deck.
Yes.
It's like, okay, if I'm passing this Epic Confrontation, taking the Forerunners, I'm planning to draft red-black dash, which he can hit very hard in that deck.
For sure.
But only if it works out.
Right.
So I think the Confrontation's the safer pick here.
It looks to me, Nate, like there was a lot of, this was an Epic Confrontation, in fact.
Yeah, this was actually a fairly contentious decision here. The 3 cards that got the leading number of votes were the Tarkir Efreet, the Epic Confrontation, and Pacifism.
Okay.
And it's actually in that order ascending. So less people ended up going with the Efreet, which, I mean, we've seen just do absolute work.
No, it's great. It may just be better than the Forerunners. It may be the better stick in red.
Yeah.
All those cards are defensible here.
Ultimately, yeah, Pacifism is going to take it.
Oh, wow.
A very narrow edge by the voting at home. People decided they wanted to go white instead of going with the Confrontation or the Efreet.
Well, the margin was little. Let's see what Matthew Little did with it. He went with the Epic Confrontation. Good job, Randy. And we know you weren't cheating because you didn't see this. So
I was genuinely curious to see what the answer was to that one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. A good pack. Let's see whether we can repeat the dose for Stefan Berrios, the last player round our table of 8 here. And Stefan Berrios, pick 1. Well, there's no...
Flatten?
Yeah, he just went flatten, indeed. Decided not to go with the rare this time. No Atarka's Command there. Yeah. No Build Around Me Dragon Lord Servant. So we start off with black. Here's flatten. So now, for the final time at this Pro Tour, Randy, so what now?
I mean, the black cards are a Mind Rot and a Self-Inflicted Wound. I mean, I like Self-Inflicted Wound, but it's a sideboard card, right? It's not going to make your main deck. Scaleguard Sentinels is a pretty good card, but I mean, black-green isn't a great archetype to settle into. Even Tactician is solid. I mean, the Dromoka Captain might actually be the best card here. This is not, you're not excited to get this pack. You first pick the Threaten, you're not excited. I mean, black-white, it's the enemy color pairs that have really good Fate Reforged cards are good ones. We keep talking about the Warflare. Like, Harsh Sustenance plays a similar role in that there might not be a black-white drafter. So you might, if you're black-white, you might be able to get all the Harsh Sustenances. I think that's what I'd be thinking here. I think I would go Dromoka Captain. I think it's better than it's better than the Tactician. The Sentinels is double green, and I didn't start with a dragon to reveal to that. I could see the case for Self-Inflicted Wound, because you're gonna want that in your sideboard when you're playing against the green or white creature deck. But I think I go Dromoka Captain.
Right, Dromoka Captain for Randy. Nate, how about everyone at home?
This is another one of those packs that when I was putting this all together, like, it just shook my head. Like, we're ending on a very strong note as far as strength of packs goes, but people were kind of split on what they wanted to do. Things went quite a large number of different ways, actually. The Dromoka Captain got the largest number of votes in the end, but not by a very wide margin. People were looking at the Tactician, they were looking at the Scaleguard Sentinels, and there were even people who were just looking at taking Mind Rot and sticking to black and figure out what they're going to do in the next pack.
Wow.
But yeah, the Captain does end up taking it, but it's very, very slim margin.
So let's find out. What did Stefan Berrios do?
Reasonable.
Well, he just decided to jump into green, double green commitment.
Well, I mean, he took the best card in the pack, and he's giving in to what people are telling him. If green's going to be open, then here's the best card. It's just, what's your archetype now is the only question.
Right. Well, for that, we'd need to go to pack 3. So what now? Well, a lot of that's down to you. But we hope you enjoyed that feature. Join us again another time here at the Pro Tour, when once again we'll be asking, so what now?